What's good, everybody? This will be a G4 rant. I'm going to give you the two-part videos, the good, bad, / conclusion. Without further ado, let's get it started. This network was created by Comcast and Insights Communications in 2002. And at the time, they had a president named Charles Hirschhorn, who was also a former president of Walt Disney Television in television animation. And the demographics would target at the age of 12 to 28 years old. And this network had 13 original shows, such as Arena, a digital sports highlight game show, Filter, a top 10 countdown voted by viewers, Blister, focus on an action-adventure game news, Semiotech, described as a showcase for the best high-end digital art, Sweat, focused on sports game news, Cheat, tips on games, Portal, focused on multiplayer online games, Pulse, news on the gaming industry, Judgment Day, currently as reviews on the run, is in Canada. Two video game gurus will opine on the latest entries. And last but not least, G4TV.com, an interactive talk show on video games. And there were two more, where was it? Players and Icons, aka Game Makers. What that show was about was basically about the franchise of video games and the consoles and the characters such as Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, Warcraft, Game Boy, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, and such. And Tech TV had some shows too. It was nothing more than just a technology gadgets network, and it was around from 1998 to 2004. And they had some shows of their own as well, such as Anime Unleashed, Robot Wars, Screensavers, now renamed to Attack of the Show, Thunderbirds, Wire for Sex, that's shocking. Last but not least, X-Play, aka GameSpot TV, and Extended Play. So, and it had Nerd Nation as well. I forgot about that. And when they emerged on March 25th, 2004, it had some really good shows, and that's when the golden era has finally begun. What can I say about the network back then? It was just flat out awesome, to the point where everyone fell in love with it. I can give you top 5 shows that I enjoyed the most. Number 5 would be Blister. I never got to watch it until G4 Rewind in 2000. Well, this year, 2008. My fault. And it was a pleasure for me to watch that show. I don't know what to say anymore about this show. I mean, like I said, I never got the chance to watch it 4 years ago. So that's what G4 did pretty good then this year as well, such as like having G4 Rewind, where everybody get to watch it, but unfortunately it was only for this summer. Number 4, it's a tie between X-Play and Judgment Day. I know people are going to ask me, San Antonio, why did you put this as a tie? I like video game review shows. I mean, it was hard for me to put one show above the other or just leave it out entirely. I mean, Judgment Day didn't rely on skits. They didn't have to be funny. I mean, Victor Lucas and Tommy Tallarico were already funny anyway. When they review games, they break it down for you. They don't have to be funny. They don't have to have that little punchline. And X-Play was fun too. And I must say, I respect Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb a lot as video game reviewers as well, but I will get to the bad parts. That what makes me don't respect them. Number 3. It would be Semi-Attack. It was a good show. I mean, no host, no biased reviews, no nothing. Just they show you the game trailers and such. I mean that's all you need. Number 2, G4TV.com, an interactive talk show on video games with Laura Foy and Tina Wood. And at the time, the co-producer, Scott Rubin, was there before he left G4 to go to the Championship Gaming Series. Now it went out of business because of financial issues this year. And they have Jeff Keighley, who replaced him, but now he's with Spike TV's Gamehead, renamed it to Game Trailers TV. I mean, that show was like my second favorite of all time for the fact that you got two ladies talking about video games, and you can have viewers call in and discuss what they feel about certain games or what's happening in the video game industry, which game is the best, the worst, overrated, underrated, weirdest moment in video game history, all that stuff. Even though they have discussion forums and live chat rooms and any other topic was concerning video games and technology as well. So, yeah. That show only lasted for 3 years. December 19th will be the day it was the final episode of the final episode of the show. I'm sorry, I stutter. My favorite show will be Arena. Without Call of Duty and SOCOM, when it comes to multiplayer online, I would never got into those type of games in the first place at all. I mean, you had Kevin Pereira with Lee Ryman. If I pronounce his name wrong, that's my own fault. And they had a third host as well. I just enjoy it. So much so I recorded it. At one point, I think they had Starcade on the show. I'm not sure about that. So, today's G4, well, let's just say it's bad, and I will get to that on part 2 of my G4 rant. I know it wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst. Well, thank you for listening. Go watch part 2. Leave me your comments. What shows do you like to watch? So, go check out part 2. Alright?